Aloha, this is Santa Surfing. Welcome to Beach Broadcast. Today is Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. Oh my goodness gracious. I think President Trump's just getting a little warmed up. So many things I'm going to be sharing. I don't know what's going to be happening with my channels. So I just want to let you know, go to the links page on beachbroadcastnews.com and you could always find my latest videos up here. We will be adding X on here as well. And then also, if you are interested in any of our sponsors, we have them all listed right here. We have IVERMECTIN. And that seems to be a very popular sponsor right now. And IVERMECTIN, they have their website up and running. So they have all the questions that are commonly asked, and you can go ahead and understand a little bit more about how long it takes, how many milligrams, does it ship worldwide, how long will it take to receive it. There's a little interview clip on Mel Gibson on the Joe Rogan show about IVERMECTIN. Their pills for this particular company, Meta 247, is as low as $1.38 a pill. I'm going to say $1.75 a pill because that's the common package that most people have. They're very transparent in their pricing. So please contact them by going to our sponsor page and clicking on the IVERMECTIN. And for those of you watching on YouTube, we have that secret word contest. First 5 people that can fill out the form in the description link below with the correct secret word that I gave on Monday's podcast, on June 2nd's podcast. The first 5 entries will win a prize. And so the link is in the description of the YouTube. And if the link doesn't work, that's because the first 5 entries, correct entries, were already submitted. Good luck, everybody. So this is going to be on Golden Dome interpretations because we're hearing all different kinds, but I'm going to share what resonates with me. And then there was a person on TikTok that what he shared really resonated with me as well. There are Space Force protections. It is truly going to be biblical. President Trump made an announcement about the Golden Dome on May 21st of 2025. I cannot put this on my show because the video publisher will not take it. So if you'd like to go ahead and listen to it, it is about protecting the generations of America and Americans. But if you'd like to listen to it, just click on the article link below and then it will take you to this video. In short, it is giving tremendous amount of, again, purely my opinion, you can decide. It's giving tremendous amount of protection for us as we go forward, moving into the golden era. Years ago, many Anons were sharing about this, about what your smart TV has been doing to you.
With this hack, your TV can watch you. Show us how that works.
So one of the things that we were able to do with the smart TV platform was actually abuse the browser to the extent that we could actually gain access to the camera that's built into the TV.
Right.
And so what we can prove here is that with a little bit of extra code, we can turn the camera on in your browser.
Wow.
And while this is evident to you right here because we've designed it that way, this is something that we can do invisibly and actually have the camera running behind the web page that you're looking at.
So what this means is I could be sitting here watching TV from my bedroom, and you could be anywhere in the world looking at this image of me watching.
Yep, I could be sitting on a laptop in a cafe in Paris, and as long as I have a network connection, I'd be able to get into your TV and access the camera.
Quite a few Anons that were posting this. But this was posted by Ben Swan, and it was posted on November 7th of 2023. And it was recorded the report came from CNN. Now think about your smartphones. Again, having the camera available and that too, being able to see what you're doing and all of that. But the smartphones tracking you without a SIM card. This is something that came out. Now, this came out a few years ago, but this is shared by Sherry, or also known as FFT 1776. And this is a reporter talking about how Google is tracking you even without a SIM card, and one phone on airplane mode, one phone without airplane mode. Check this out.
We know that Google is tracking us. We agree to it when we set up our phones. So we wanted to figure out what exactly Google is learning about us throughout the day. So here's what we're going to do. We have 2 identical phones. The only difference between these 2 phones is this one is in airplane mode. Both of the phones lack a SIM card, and they haven't been set up to access any Wi-Fi networks. So for all intents and purposes, these phones have no connection to a data network. We're going to keep them with us throughout the day. And while I travel around D.C., we're going to figure out just what Google is finding out about me. Our first stop, Sim's Convenience Store, just outside our Fox bureau, for a quick coffee. From there, we took a walk to the Capitol and took a quick walk around the Senate office buildings, and then decided to hop in a car and head around town. Hello. We're going to the Children's Hospital, please. To run our test, we had to do more than walk the block, so we took a tour around our nation's capital. First, due north to the Children's National Medical Center Hospital, then west to St. Albans School and the National Cathedral. Our tour around town was a 14-mile journey that lasted more than an hour. The entire time, the phones had no access to the internet. Oh my goodness. Not a Wi-Fi connection and not any cellular data service. It almost seemed quaint to assume that Google wouldn't even be able to collect data on me. Let's head back to the bureau, my friend. Oh, that church is beautiful. Google's business model is simple. Collect data on its users and then use that data to sell targeted ads. It's a business model called surveillance capitalism. But does that critical data collection work even when your phones aren't connected? So we're back here at our Fox Bureau in D.C., and we've got both of our phones exactly how we left with them. The only difference, really, I snapped a couple of bad selfies at the National Cathedral. But otherwise, they have stayed in my pocket for the entire day. So let's find out what they know. This is our man-in-the-middle device. It's basically a Wi-Fi network that these phones are going to connect to once we turn their Wi-Fi on. It's going to pass data through it on the way to Google. But on the way, we're actually going to get a copy of the same data that Google's going to get. We'll be able to decrypt it and then find out where we've been throughout the day. Within minutes, the numbers rolled in. The phone that wasn't on airplane mode registered more than 100 locations, 130 activities, and even 152 barometric readings. As soon as it hooked up to our Wi-Fi, it transmitted 300 kilobytes of data straight to Google. The phone even logged our exact locations, tracking us all around town, the Capitol, the hospital, the school, and the cathedral. Now, you may notice what's missing here is the exact route that we took, but it got that data too. It knows when I got out of the car. The metadata has a time log down to the very second, tracking everything when they think that you're walking, riding, and yes, even getting out of the car. Okay, so you're thinking, this isn't a big deal. I'll just put my phone in airplane mode. Yeah, we thought of that too. This is the other phone that we had with us that no SIM card also remained in airplane mode the entire time. Let's see what kind of data it captured. The phone with airplane mode activated actually logged more locations and activities than the other phone, and it also transferred hundreds of kilobytes of data to Google as soon as it was activated. The only thing that's missing from this map is our stop at the Children's Hospital, but it still knows we were there. There it is. Exiting vehicle, 100% accuracy. Through complicated user agreements and free software, Google gets users to sign away their privacy for nothing. They're even following you in the places that most people would expect total privacy. Government buildings, a children's hospital, a private school, a church. Every move you make, every step you take, Google is watching you.
Scary. Back in 2016, ABC News reported that Mark Zuckerberg covers his laptop camera, microphone with tape as a defense against hackers. Okay, hackers can get inside the computer. He was doing that because of exactly what I just shared with you. It definitely makes you want to revert back to the basic wired phones and analog cameras again, yes? So that we don't have them spying on your every single move. But why were they doing that? Again, it was for what they were talking about, a very selective kind of capitalism so that they can go ahead and push ads to you. But how do you think the woke liberalism started to make its movement? It's because they were feeding children, they were feeding the Democrats, let's say, or liberals with all this woke propaganda, normalizing it. They were feeding the Democrats and the liberals and even the rhinos with stuff that would help, that would brainwash them, right? As for you with strong minds, you were the ones that said, no thanks. And so your feed may have come up with more maybe economic data, something with a little bit more facts involved. Puppy videos, how to be more inspirational. So your feed was probably different, but this is what they were doing all along. And it was all about control, control, control. That they can control you, they can control the entire world was their whole agenda, of course, and depopulation. Think about what's coming out. The fierce news about the swamp people. President Trump has already teed things up. He's already posted a video about Hillary and all of the people that are missing that were in her life or a part of her life, right? He's posted about Joe Biden being a clone, and he got the E word. I can't say it, otherwise they'll censor this video. But that happened to him. And that video, if you'd like to see it again, because it was incredibly buffered, it is in the link below in the description below. But think about all of the stuff that's going to be coming out. And conversely, let's look at the bright side. Think about all the great things that are going to be coming out that you need to be aware of, but maybe that the big tech still doesn't want you to know about it. So you're thinking, well, why would they want to do that? They don't want you to be prosperous. They don't want you to be thriving in life, thriving in your family life, in your work life, in your professional life, in whatever life that is that you live today. They don't want that. They want to keep you completely squashed and in control and just feeling hopeless. But more importantly, there's a lot of crimes that are going to be exposed. We have the Diddy case that's going to be coming out. Who is going to get exposed from all of that? The treason as well. The people around the world should know about these crimes so that they can be kept well informed, make a decision on what to do, how to do things next, right? Without the Golden Dome, if they didn't have that, they're not going to know about that, right? That's just my opinion. Alternatively, there are search sites like Yandex.com. It gives a lot more search results, but nobody says, hey, did you Yandex that? No, they always say the G word, right? So there is, and then remember, the aftermath of Autopengate or Joe Biden clone gate, all right? That scandal is going to come and erupt. Because Joe Biden, he secretly signed many, many pardons because they had marijuana possession. But who are those people? Here's a few articles that I wanted to kind of enlighten you on about how Joe Biden and Jill Biden on the 19th, Joe Biden signed a ton of pardons, yeah? I went through this in yesterday's podcast, but I'll go through it again very quickly. So on January 19th of 2025, these are the pardons that he signed. So he's got Mark Milley, Anthony Fauci, he's got a bunch of other people. Again, I'm just going over some of the more common names. And then, of course, those on the J6 committee. I mean, even a stupid investigator can figure this out because here's an article about Joe Biden speaks at North Charleston Church on the 19th of January on 2025. All right. So he wasn't at the White House when he was signing these pardons. Now, some of you might say, well, he might have been there at nighttime or so. Okay, well, it didn't say anything about him returning back to sign a bunch of pardons. No, again, just little things like this is going to start coming out. Autopengate is going to be a lot bigger because it does expose a lot of felony crimes. Here's a list of the crimes. Let me toggle up. And this is posted by the Gateway Pundit. You can see a lot more details about these crimes, but some of the crimes, it does equal prison time, which would be 18 USC codes, several different codes, but I'll just kind of run through them. Forgery of the United States documents, impersonation of a federal officer, false statements, conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstruction of justice, wire or mail fraud. Okay, so, and then also what was signed, right? And then think about this. Did the AutoPen people or person that signed it, did they sign up an AutoPen pardon, right? Do they think that the President Trump wasn't going to find out about all of this, right? And again, the news that this is coming out, you all know that, it wasn't real Joe Biden, so we know that, but are they going to be able to bring that out into an investigation, or is it more so the AutoPen? But knowing that they weren't at the White House on the 19th when he signed some pretty big pardons is going to be proof that he wasn't there. So if the Congress Oversight Committee can't delve into this as part of their investigation, we need to make a little bit more noise. We've been making noise for so many years, and now it's coming out in the news. So I say kudos to all of you. But how can Trump prevent this from happening? Think about that Golden Dome again, because this is war. President Trump, through his El Donato account, he posted this yesterday on June 3rd, 2025. This is war. No more Mr. Nice Guy, right? Think about how we do business. And because of your stance on something that the woke or liberal big tech banks do not like, right? You could be in a very difficult position to do any kind of transaction or even conduct your business. Listen, and I'll have you listen to Don Jr., but for an example, My podcast has been throttled. That's why I have to have a links page on my website so that you could always find me. Those that are still listening to this show, I want to say thank you so much for your loyalty, because you have been excellent Easter egg hunters to find my podcast again. I've been suspended many times, so I'm on my 8th time on YouTube, and I have been suspended on many different platforms on big tech. But what that essentially meant for me, if again, this being the primary thing I do, I have to hit the restart button all the time. And it's very much like you're starting let's say, an ice cream shop, and maybe they built something in front of your door, and so you had to reopen somewhere else, and then you start again. And then they did something there, they shut down your electricity, then you have to start again. You had to keep moving and moving, and by then you don't have a clientele, you have a very minimal amount. But this hasn't just happened to me, it's happened to many, many other people, including you, those that are listening. You might be shaking your head saying, yeah, I got suspended, maybe not 47 times, but I got suspended. How about those that got debanked? Think about that. Think about you're running a business on Amazon. Maybe you have an Amazon business and money's flowing into your bank accounts. All of a sudden, the banks check on you and say, ooh, this person supports President Trump or is a conservative. Listen to what Don Jr. says about getting debanked and how quickly it is done. And then I'm going to have you listen to a billionaire big tech guy. His name is Mark Andreessen on the Joe Rogan show, and what he says. Listen to this. So maybe you wanted to go ahead and get some cash out from your ATM machine, and then you find out exactly what they were just talking about. Or maybe you're trying to make a transfer of funds because you need to buy supplies from your supply chain, right? And you can't have access to your cash because the banks put a hold on it. Thousands of you have shared experiences like this, yes? And is it fair? No. And as Mark Andreessen was talking about, does it happen to liberals? Joe Rogan asked, does it happen to liberals? Not that he knows of. Do you know of any liberals that had that happen to them? And if it ever did, they will scream like crazy, whereas we've just kind of gotten used to it, right? President Trump, he's ready to just roll out and just incredible greatness. Now, it's not going to be in the form of here you go, here's a check. It may be, but I'm not counting on that at all. It's more of opening the floodgates of opportunity for you, whatever age you are, working age you are. He wants to make you prosperous, but he's going to make us work for it, right? But he's going to be dropping these gifts to us and doesn't want any kind of interruptions at all in the way. So in my humble opinion, President Trump's Golden Dome via Space Force is shielding us from the corrupt government, not his government, but the remaining government, the kind of the one that's still lingering around a little bit, dirty politicians, and they may have hired some people to go in and do whatever they need to do to go ahead and make it really difficult for you to start thriving. And they're fighting like heck to prevent any of this golden age of, I'm going to call it, of prosperity to roll out for all of us. I asked Grok tell me about Space Force protecting our privacy, and I'm just going to scroll down here. You can take a read. You can read this. It's in the article link below, but you can go ahead and read on this. And then if you just go straight down here, Space Force plays a critical role in national security and space operations, including projects like the Golden Dome missile defense. Again, Golden Dome missile defense protecting you. The new AI, the open AI that Elon Musk has been working with, and even OpenAI, who they have their own company, it's going to be conformed, or it is, to protect you. Why did Don Jr. talk about going to crypto? Because it can be monitored. We were talking about this on our live on Locals yesterday, and it was really powerful. But it's even bigger than that, because this is also an additional, I should say, interpretation of the Golden Dome. But before I show this, I did stumble across a video, again, posted by the gentleman that posted this video, and he goes by @PaulGoldEagle, and he posted something that was really powerful. But let me go ahead and show that first, and then I'm going to share this one here, because I thought this one definitely resonated with me. What Paul GoldEagle wrote, wow, this guy, Mike Ross, experience knows what he is talking about. The shift has been slowly progressing for months. Can you feel it? Had you felt it? great discussion here. I'm only going to play the first reason. He has 3. I want to play the other 2 at a different podcast, but I wanted to share the first reason.
All right, so why are the chosen ones feeling a shift right now? This is a follow-up. This is a part 2. We're going to hit this thing from 3 different levels. Number 1, we're going to talk spiritually. We're going to talk metaphysically. And then we're going to talk dimensionally. From a spiritual perspective, why are the chosen ones feeling a shift? It's because God is calling out his remnant. Now, the remnant of God normally refers to those that have been set apart, those chosen ones who have endured countless trials and countless tribulations, even from your youth. You've endured immense pain, immense suffering, but remember, this isn't punishment. This is preparation. You have been refined in fire so that you can carry light into dark places. What's happening is right now, the veil between the spiritual and the physical world is becoming thin. This is a divine activation season. All of your spiritual senses, your discernment, your dreams, your intuition are all being heightened right now. And many of you are being called out of hiding into a place of greater visibility. And it is for the purpose of influence, it's for the purpose of leadership, and most importantly, for spiritual warfare. From a metaphysical.
And I believe many of you are shifting like this. Many of you are just, and again, you being the chosen ones, you volunteering your own time, working your full-time job, and taking the time on your break to go out there and start continually trying to wake up people. Don't you see that as God's calling? And please do not ever overlook all of your efforts from results. We're going to see the results more and more through the news, the media, through President Trump, through bigger names. All the stuff that you've been sharing, it hasn't been overlooked. But I've been seeing this struggle, this battle, it seems like, and is it because you are resonating to 5D and you want to stay there, yet it's that 3D world that keeps dragging you down. And we just instinctively wake up each morning and say, okay, I got to go out and fight because that's what you've been doing for years, yeah? But is it that now all of a sudden we just need to retreat and say, I'm going to go ahead and take a little break from all of this madness because I know it's all going to start coming out, and get myself prepared for what the greatness that God has for all of us. So I really want to thank Paul White for sharing this because it was really powerful. And again, it did resonate with me. Hopefully it did touch your heart too, because you're not alone. So if you are thinking, oh man, I just feel it a little, go into my X feed and just post in a reply, any of my messages, because I tend to look in my replies because I don't have a lot of time to go into each one of your pages, and just say, I'm just feeling this, or just maybe share a dream of yours, or maybe share something so that you can have other people start engaging in conversations, and you'll be surprised how many people are saying, I'm in the same boat. And this one is this one has really hit me hard. It was like, wow, that is the Golden Dome. Again, you may have a different interpretation of it, but he describes it. This guy's name is Chad Sartin. And so let me go ahead and have you listen to this. And it was posted again by Paul White.
This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. So what if I told you that Trump's Golden Dome isn't about missiles or defense? It's about frequency warfare. You're thinking too small if you're picturing steel and concrete. This isn't a physical dome. It's a vibrational firewall, a planetary force field designed to block the low-frequency parasitic entities that have been feeding off of our fear, division, and chaos for decades. This is real Star Wars shit here, and it's not the Hollywood kind. It's about cutting off the energy supply to the invisible controllers of this matrix. Imagine a massive energetic grid stretching across ley lines, resonating at high frequency like gold, incorruptible and impenetrable. That's the dome. It's not built with bricks. It's built with sound, light, and sacred geometry. Once it's activated, it disconnects humanity from the archonic feed lines. those interdimensional parasites that have manipulated us through fear-based programming. No more manipulation. No more emotional harvesting. It's spiritual warfare at the highest frickin' level. And the battlefield is the electromagnetic field around your consciousness. This golden dome could be the ultimate counterstrike in a war you didn't even know that we were in. Trump's not just playing 5D chess. He's trying to crack the Matrix source code. If this grid goes live, the old system collapses. The energy vampires lose their supply. Humanity wakes up. The real question isn't if it's happening. The question is, are you ready for what the world looks like after the dome goes up? Listen, all of these dots connect together, every single one of them. And it all ties to blockchain, smart contracts, this new financial system coming in. So go to chadsartin.com.
And you may have your own interpretation of the Golden Dome. Just ask God for that direction. But this is how I viewed it. And I see it more as a security, a safety net. But also, again, we are breaking free from what we've been bound to, that slave, that invisible enemy, as President Trump once called it back in 2020. And we're breaking free from all of that. And we're just saying no more. So now that we have the Take It Down Act that Melania was pushing for and the Golden Dome in place, we're just waiting for the public news of the fall of the Federal Reserve. And then our world is going to be so ready for something so incredible and so spiritual, and we'll revert back to things that we've all really dreamt of. We took it for granted as a child, but having those strong family values. Remember the times where we just could go ahead and, of course, yes, play out in the park and hang out with your friends out in the street, didn't have a smartphone, didn't have a device, didn't have video games, we weren't confined indoors where they were monitoring us all those times. We were outside drinking from the water hose, jumping in mud puddles, doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And then we knew at whatever time the dinner time was, we had to be cleaned up and ready to sit at the dinner table as a family. And we would sit and talk as a family. And at night, we would pray as a family. That's what I look forward to the most about this great awakening. May God bless you so abundantly. Thanks so much for listening to this podcast. I will have a show very soon. Aloha.